Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. So, is the government about to drop the hammer on Amazon? Now, as you know, Amazon is the reigning champion of e commerce with hundreds of thousands of orders every hour. But unfortunately, as you also know, many of these dollars are going to globalist agendas, furthering that real woke ideology we all hate. But Amazon has now been accused of becoming an official monopoly, and that could radically impact this corporate giant for the foreseeable future. To discuss, I've invited back Christian entrepreneur and e commerce expert Alex Alberon, who's a warrior against an Amazon monopoly. And you will find Alex often frequently frequenting Mar-a-Lago, of which he is a member. And so, Alex, welcome back. Great to see you there, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Steve.
It's awesome to have you again. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission's just accused Amazon of basically illegally protecting a monopoly in the world of online retail. So you yourself are one of the biggest independent challengers of Amazon's monopoly. What are your thoughts on all this? Is this action against Amazon going to go anywhere?
Absolutely. It's just because for years, Amazon has been vastly against the little guy like me and my clients. I mean, they charge us with fees and they limit what we can do. They limit the products that we can sell as third party sellers. And so I think this recent action is a matter of leveling the playing field for, again, everyday people like my clients and I to actually compete on Amazon against, kind of the Goliath.
Right, right. Well, and then and this also raises the question of the whole notion of a parallel economy that's challenging the more mainstream kind of woke economy of Amazon and the like. So tell me, you're on the front lines of this parallel economy, this patriot-based faith, family, and freedom economy. Are you encouraged about the future of the parallel economy, especially in with the possibility of a Trump 2024 victory?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at me, I came from a lower middle class family, free and reduced lunch. I mean, I started my business in that parallel economy with less than $1,000 to my name. And I think the next 12 months will do about $6 or $7 million. And that's only
Wow.
because of the parallel economy. There's no limit to who can join, there's no limit to how much you can make. And I think the Trump presidency is going to put rocket fuel on anybody getting into it because there's no better time than now to get into the online digital economy, which I'm sure we'll discuss opportunities in this video. But I think it's a matter of looking at an amazing opportunity, even better with Trump being back in office.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, digital business is near and dear to my heart since I'm part of this networking economy where we relate to each other not so much by proximity or brick and mortar building, but rather through the internet. And that way, literally, we have Limitless Frontier. What is this one of the reasons why you decided to do online retail? And is this something that anybody could get into?
Absolutely. I think it's something that people have to get into. And I tell clients every day there's a vast difference between financial security and financial freedom. Many people follow the rules of life and they have financial security. They live paycheck to paycheck, they have a 401k. And I like to think of a 401k as deferring happiness until you're 75, 80 years old when you're too old to water ski, you're too old to learn how to golf, your hips don't work. That's what a 401k is. That's why they lock your money up. The elites, they lock your money up in Wall Street until you're too old to really enjoy it with your friends and family. And so that's why I look at the parallel economy as a way of accessing that happiness 10 or 20 years earlier than having to wait again with the traditional retirement model. And I think people have to become financially free because at a W 2 job, you're just a number, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
people here have gotten laid off where they've put 20, 25 years into their company, their heart, sweat, and tears, and they get laid off. They're just a number. And so I think you have to have financial freedom so you can enjoy life, be generous, tithe more, rather than deferring happiness and fulfillment until some future date when who knows if you'll be alive or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I think this is a huge opportunity for people they don't recognize. We're just at the beginning of a parallel economy. So again, some people call it the frontier economy. It's worldwide. We're seeing that with the BRICS plus, economic union that's giving the G20 a run for its money. It's astonishing stuff. It's not just happening here. And if you really, I really try to encourage our audience, think entrepreneurially now. You have more opportunities to bless yourselves, your families, your loved one, your churches, your communities with these online business opportunities that are real, and they're exploding right now because there are tons of patriots who are looking for alternatives to Amazon to take advantage of. But some might be worried. I mean, just that the economy is falling apart. Inflation, recession, stagflation. How is, and everyone admits Bidenomics are a disaster. So how are Bidenomics affecting the work your company is doing, online business in particular?
Right. Well, I think if you look at malls, in-person shopping, there's no reason to waste a weekend at the mall for Christmas shopping. You can go on Amazon, you can go
Right.
online and shop in 10 or 15 minutes. And so I think no matter what the economy is, the online e-commerce market's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I think people love to wait for the perfect time. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, when I have the perfect idea, my life is in the perfect situation, my money's in the perfect, place, then I'm going to start my business, then I'm going to achieve my dreams. And then they look 20 years later and they're in the same exact spot. And so I think if you look at the economy, of course it's not doing well, but if you look at the online marketplace, there's no logical reason why you or I or anybody watching this can't have a successful online business, especially in the e-commerce marketplace, because more and more dollars are being spent on products online that used to be spent in the mall, in Target and Walmart, especially if you look at crime in the major cities. People are
Absolutely.
scared. They don't want to bring their kids, their grandkids into Target to get mugged, by some thug. And so I think if you look at safety, if you look at, where the money is, it's in major cities and they're spending money online. And so I think no matter what the economy is, people will be spending money online, and it's a $1.4 trillion market in the United States alone. And if you get 0.00001% of that, that's still a multi-seven-figure business.
Which is what you help your clients to do, which is what
Mm.
makes you so amazing and why I love having you on the show. You were thinking crime, I was thinking COVID, same thing, Actually, they tended with the, riots in 2020, they tended to correspond, but yeah, just the way COVID devastated brick and mortar businesses. Absolutely. I mean, restaurant industry in many respects is still trying to, the service industry in general is still trying to recover from COVID, whereas online businesses were flourishing during that. They were absolutely flourishing. So I think that's what people they need a paradigm shift here, that we're in the network society now. We don't relate to each other by virtue of proximity. We relate to each other by virtue of networks, particularly the internet. And you can have a 24/7 online business churning out tons of cash, if you just learn how to tap into e-commerce, which is what you're brilliant at your ripe young age, right? We're talking about getting old, and I that's what, again, you're just so inspiring. I assume Amazon is going to be fighting tooth and nail, to not be designated a monopoly, and they consider guys like you a threat. Am I right?
Absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, they hate the little guy. They want us to be within their box and pay them fees and monthly dues. And it's a rigged system. And so I think this FTC action is actually going to, like I said before, level the playing field for people like me, people like you, and everyday people who are clients of mine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, tell the audience how they could start their online marketplace and get into this growing and decentralized world of e-commerce. You've been so successful with it. You showed other people, lots of our Turley talkers, how to be successful at it. What can people do?
Well, let me give you an analogy. I'll talk to you, Dr. Steve. If you have a cavity, what you're going to do is get your insurance card, get your checkbook, and go to the dentist. They're the expert. They have the training. They know what they're doing. They know what not to do as well. But what a lot of people do with this business is they go on YouTube, they look up, how do I fill my own cavity?
Right.
Think of it like that. And that's clinically and medically insane. And nobody
It's
watching
true.
this would do that with themselves or their kid. But with their business, they think, you know what? I have a job, I have a family, I have all these responsibilities. In 5 hours a week, I'm going to become an e-commerce millionaire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you put it like that, it's just not practical.
No.
Maybe in 10 or 20 years, right? So that's why I look at what I do as a wealth time machine. And like I mentioned earlier, you can spend 10 or 20 years figuring this out on your own, trial and error, wasting time, or my team and I can take everything over, build it for you, manage everything. We know what to do. We know when to do it, how to do it. I've been doing this for so many years. I have tens of millions of dollars of client results. And so that's why I like to look at, again, what I do is a time machine from where you're at now to where you want to get to probably in the next 12 to 15 months. And
Mm.
that's how I work with clients.
Excellent. And I couldn't recommend that more because I mean, I couldn't do this myself. I have Ralph Cochran, who's the president of our company. He's my business partner. He's the one who takes over the whole business infrastructure. I just create content and I interview really interesting, awesome people like you. I don't do anything other than that, quite literally. I'm the most useless person in this company outside of that limited capacity. That's what I love about what you do. It's just you need to team up with people so as to double your brain capacity. And you need to team up with people with gifts and organizational skills and experience that you simply don't have. And that's what you offer, don't you?
Exactly. I think if you look at a traditional business opportunity, you're looking at a McDonald's, a Burger King, and Dunkin' Donuts, which are brick and mortar and which do cost millions of dollars. If they even allow you to join, like that
Right.
still is an elite corporation in the Fortune
Right.
500, McDonald's, Burger King. So you need their approval. You need millions of dollars, which is putting all of your eggs in one basket. That may or may not work. With this, it's a fraction of the cost. There's no limit to who your customers are, what you can sell. And again, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, this market's only going to keep growing. Now
Right.
is the best time to get into it. And competition, saturation, people love to negative self-coach themselves, I call it, in terms of why they don't want to change their life. Why
Yeah.
don't they want to go to the gym? Why don't they eat healthy? We can all create these reasons why now isn't the perfect time. Like, I don't want to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow or 10 years from now. But
Mhm.
if you want freedom for your family, you want freedom for yourself, you have to take action now, pull the trigger. And I tell people to take a leap of faith.
Yeah, yeah, and get in on the ground floor of this rising parallel economy. It's absolutely astonishing. It's only gonna get bigger and bigger, and imagine what can happen if you get on the ground floor now. And Alex is the guy that's going to help you to do it. Click on that link in the description below. Start your very own e-commerce business today. You can just start it on the side, and in addition to your own work. It's a 24/7 thing. It's churning out money constantly. Alex can show you exactly how to do it. He's amazing. We've had many of our Turley talkers joining up with him with wonderful results. So just click on the link below. You don't want to miss the boat on this one. You're going to kick yourself if you do. Alex, you're the best, man. Come back soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet.